letters. Love letters to Kelly.
All right, here we go. Dear Kelly, you are the love expert.
I am.
I just had the most bizarre conversation of my life. I guess it wasn't as much of a conversation as it was a proposal made to me by my husband and best friend.
Two different people, or the husband is the best friend?
The husband and her best friend.
Okay, because a lot of people refer to their...
True. In this case, he is not the best friend, just the husband, apparently. My lifelong best friend, who is perpetually single, has desperately wanted a baby for years. It's been a source of pain and frustration, and I've been there for her. She's been panicking for a while now because we are getting older. And she went to my husband and asked him if he would consider being her donor so that she could become pregnant.
Oh, my.
My first issue is that she didn't ask me first, or at least involve me in the conversation, Kelly. Instead, they talked about it, and then they approached me together like a team. My husband is okay with it. He said he would do it he wouldn't do it if I didn't want him to, but he doesn't think it's that big of a deal. He says he would just be helping a friend in an amazing way, and he's surprised that I wouldn't want to support it. She gave me a long list of sensible reasons why my husband would be the perfect donor, and most of them I could even agree with. But the idea of my husband having a child with another woman makes me feel sick. He and I decided before we got married 10 years ago that neither of us wanted kids. And they both say that it would be her baby. He'd only need to be involved in the conception. She's trying to reassure me that there would be zero financial ties or obligations beyond the donation. I know how much she needs to be a mom, so part of me feels selfish for not wanting to share my husband to help that happen. But another part of me feels so angry because I don't want to be the one who's in the position to give this permission. How did this become my decision? This feels like a Kate Hudson movie that I definitely watch, but something that does not work out in reality.
Yeah.
I feel hurt that they discussed it before including me and that my husband is all in for it. I am so upset with both of them, but I also have so many mixed emotions, and I don't know which viewpoint to focus on. Kelly, please tell me what I should do.
Well, you say no.
Rachel.
You say no, because here's the thing. I wonder if they're like, well, he just has to be there for conception, but we're old school.
Yeah.
We're old school.
That was my question. What's
Are we
the
doing this in
conception
a
thing?
lab? Or they say, no, that's too technical and expensive when it's free to do it the good old-fashioned way.
You can do the turkey.
There are so many red flags around this. And I get it. If you agreed as a couple, maybe he's having a little, because, his ego, man, what would my little boy or little girl look like? There's ego involved there too. But this is like.
Yeah, we got to talk about this conception thing.
This is real suspicious to me.
Oh, like you think there might be a little...
well, there might be there's some level of attraction there. There are so many options she could go to. There's a lovely facility where she could buy. Yeah. She could go to another couple. I know a friend of mine who is in a gay relationship, and he always wanted a child. Well, one of his friends, also in a lesbian relationship, they were trying to, figure that out if that could work. Yeah. But I think the emotional ties that he's now going to have with your best friend, with that kid, that's just danger. And I think there's more here. His ego's involved, number one. Number two, the idea of, wow, my wife would be giving me permission to be naughty with her best friend.
I don't think that would be cool.
It's not cool.
That would not be cool
This is not cool. And for them to put this on you and make you the bad guy.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially if they keep pressuring you, there's something more going on here.
There's also banks you can go to.
Yes.
Where
then again, but it's like that's so expensive. They're going to throw the money.
Or a one-night stand.
Well, then,
go pick some. Yeah.
No. And you're also assuming that one and done's going to do it. Well, didn't work, babe.
Gotta try again.
Got to go back.
I'll be over at Diane's.
Yeah, this is
for a couple minutes.
This is not it. And I just think it would really bother you to look at that child.
I know it's your husband.
And you already are, if you're not 100% completely on board.
And eventually that child's going to grow up and find out that
who's my dad?
Right.
Their dad is
There's two.
uncle,
He's next door.
whoever.
It's not going to work
It
out.
might not be uncle somebody. It might be daddy at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not gonna work
opening
out.
the door. There's just something really suspicious here, especially because she didn't come to you first.
Yep.
There's something going on.
Yeah, we're leaning on the no on this one. There's other.
Oh, we're not leaning. We're adamant.
We're adamant.
We're,
no.
we're stomping on the
Smile,
no.
Kelly.
She is.
I've
She's
been
smiling.
smiling the
She's
entire
smiling the whole time.
So I'll make sure.
That's what she's doing.
Love letters. Love letters to Kelly. Dear Kelly, you're the love expert.
I am.
I'm 23 years old and confused on what relationship steps I should take. For background, I started dating a guy a little over a year ago, and things started out great. All of our values and future plans lined up. We loved each other's families and genuinely became best friends. He was my first love. Well, I moved out of state for graduate school and long distance started. After a few months, he said he was burnt out on long distance and decided to end things. Then he asked me to take him back, which I did. And a few months later, we broke up again. After that, I told him, don't reach out again. A few months later, he reached out again. He said he's never met anyone like me. He wants to come visit me and start planning our future together. He also explained how he's been working on himself to fix the issues we had in our relationship. Kelly, what do? I've been hurt by this man twice now, but he apologized and is taking the initiative to get our relationship back on track. Part of me feels pathetic taking back a man who's broken up with me twice. The other half feels that he's putting in the effort and apologized. I just don't know what to do. I think I'd like to think the idealistic life that we dreamed together could be a reality. Neither one of us was perfect in the relationship, but I just don't know what to do. What do I do? Stacy.
Well, it's really hard to. I can only tell you based on my experience where I had to marry him to divorce him. Remember that?
Yes.
Lovely story. Everything's fine now, but I am divorced from the father of my daughter because we would go back and forth with breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. And, the last time I was like, I'm really, really done. But we ended up reconciling, whatever. I'm not faulting you for this push and pull. It is a lot of wasted energy. If you want to risk it, if he is putting in the effort and the time and he's showing you, why rush marriage or an engagement or anything? Why can't you just date? Yeah. Instead of going 100% all in, make him earn you back. Make him wine and dine you and show you, because the actions, he can say anything to win you back. And once he's got you and then he falls back into the old habits, you're like, here we go again. So you don't have to rush anything. You don't even have to say
you're 23.
You can date him, but say, I don't want to be exclusive. I will make this agreement with you. I won't be intimate with anybody else, and I won't be intimate. I'm not going to be intimate with you either because I can't do that to the other men. But if you truly are interested in pursuing me, then pursue me. But you got to show me. So I don't have a problem with you giving him another chance because he's just come through graduate school. Yeah. This is he had a lot of pressures and stress, or he could just be bored and like, well, let me try her again. I mean, it's a crapshoot, really. Yeah. So if you want to do it, I would just say, proceed cautiously, make him earn you back. Don't just dive right in with the engagement while you're still figuring out if this is legit.
Right.
Love letters. Love letters to Kelly.
Dear Kelly, you're the love expert.
It's hard to smile while giving advice. I've learned that. It's very hard.
Dear Kelly, you're the love expert. I've been seeing this girl since my freshman year of high school. I truly love her, and she's expressed that she feels the same way. Every day that I'm with her, I feel like I can take anything that comes my way. Our senior year is right around the corner, and soon we'll need to start applying for colleges and universities. She wants to be an engineer, and she's expressed interest in going to an Ivy League school. The issue is that when I mentioned the university that I plan to apply to, she was quick to change her mind and said that she would apply there as well. While I love the thought of her being willing to go to college with me, I don't think it's the best idea. She's the smartest girl I've ever met, and I think she should attend her original Ivy League choice rather than just come with me. I love her so much, but she deserves to get the best education possible, and that's definitely not at the college that I plan to go to. Kelly, what should I do? Should I tell her that she should go to the university best suited for her career, or should I let her make her own choice and go to the other university despite me not thinking that's the best idea for her to fulfill her dream as an engineer? Please help.
What a good boyfriend, first
I
of all.
know.
I
know.
Very mature.
Or he wants to go to party school and just tear it up.
No.
Right. I think that one.
He wants the best for her.
He could have an engineer wife one day.
I choose to believe the author of that letter wants the best for his
I think
girlfriend. So. Now, this is what bothers me about a lot of young girls who do have this trajectory. This is what I want to do with my life. And, oh, boy, it's like, ooh, squirrel, ooh, boat, whatever. And they get distracted from their goal, right? So I think it's very mature and responsible of you. And I refer to Nick Adams from the 13 podcast that used to be with the Kid Craddock Morning Show. I refer to his situation with his girlfriend over and over and over again. They broke up because they each wanted to go to separate colleges, but they didn't want the guilt and the stress of having to call in every night. What did you do tonight? I did this. They said, we're going to break up. We're not going to, I don't know the parameters if they set boundaries for themselves. I haven't gotten to Nick's personal business.
They dated other people.
You can date other people, but do you have a boundary? We won't cross this line. I don't know. I don't know. You can do what's comfortable for you, but say, and if we're meant to be together, this is the true test, and we come back together after college. And that's exactly what happened to Nick and his girlfriend. They got out. They don't have any doubts, any question that.
Yeah.
Because what if you do stay with the same person for 4 years, long distance, and then you meet each other again at the end of 4 years, like, I don't even like you anymore.
Yeah.
And then you wasted your college experience. So you might have to, if she's dead set and adamant, I mean, it is ultimately her choice. Ultimately, you might have to get her parents involved a little bit, go to them respectfully and maturely and tell them, and maybe have a little family meeting with her. I don't know. It might get to the point where if you're that adamant, you'll have to break up with her. I love you enough to let you go.
Yeah.
And if it's meant to be, you come back to me, right?
She might really also respect that he does want the best for her, you know, if he puts it that way.
Yeah, but I get it. Your hormones, your emotions, you're frightened. You're only juniors, too. A lot could happen between now and your senior year.
You could also listen to Nick Adams on the Chatty Daddies podcast with Trey Peart and JC Charles.
Oh, I apologize.
Good plug.
for not-
Great.
Yeah.
Good
He talks about Blair on that podcast.
But there
quite
was a
bit.
new episode of the 13 podcast just
Sure.
posted yesterday.
There's also that
Wow,
one.
we got a podcast beef
The
going
beef,
right
the
here.
beef.
Nick is not on my podcast.
Love letters to Kelly. Dear Kelly, you are the love expert.
I am.
I've been with a guy for over 3 years. He knows everything about me and my kids, where I work, where I live, what school my kids go to, everything. My issue is that I have not been invited over to his home in these 3 years that we've been dating. I'm not allowed to know where he lives, where he works, where he keeps himself a lot. I do get him to open up and know about his 3 kids, but I feel that something just isn't right. He says the reason I'm not allowed to know where he lives is because he doesn't do the pop-ups at his house or work. And
Because his wife might be there, or girlfriend.
and he's afraid that I would just show up unannounced.
Yeah, and then the jig would be up.
Yeah.
I've told him that I would never just show up, but it doesn't seem to matter. We seem to do a lot of bickering back and forth regarding him not trusting me to not show up, but it has not gotten us anywhere. I'm at the point that I know I love this man,
Oh, boy.
but I feel that I'm wasting my time with him
Yeah.
and should just leave him. Should I leave him? That's from Gina.
Gina, do you not have the internet? I'm assuming she has access to the internet. You can find out where that man lives.
Bro.
And you can go do a little surveillance on your own and find out he's got a whole other family there.
3
and
years?
You are his moped.
Oh, boy.
You are the moped in this relationship.
Don't be the moped.
If he's not introducing you to family, doesn't even want to know where he lives.
That's-
Or works.
That's the biggest red flag I've ever
Oh,
heard.
he is married, involved something.
In 3 years?
That's bigger than
for
a red
3
flag.
years.
That's bigger
This
than a
is
moped.
it.
That's
God.
Blair.
Tell me his name. I'll find his address and you can go by and see. It's not hard to figure out. You can't. I paid. Let me tell you about my story.
Uh-oh.
Because I was a single mom for a long time, and I started getting a lot of prison letters, and one was particularly frightening. And I went and paid an attorney a lot of money to put everything tied up in a trust so my name wouldn't be out there and my address with me and my daughter who didn't live in a gated community. Thousands of dollars I could have flushed down the toilet because you could still Google my address at that time, And it's like, it's not that hard to. My point of saying that is, you can find
You can
out where
find
he
him.
lives. You don't want to know the truth.
He might be
because
lying
then
about
that
his name.
ruins your fantasy too. You know he's got something else going on, but you don't want to accept that because then where does that leave you?
Single.
Nothing. But you have nothing. You have a facade of a relationship. You don't have a real relationship here.
Have you looked at his driver's license to make sure he even told you the
Anything.
real name?
Oh,
He's
Oh, his
hiding.
address is on there?
He's hiding stuff, and
Oh.
you don't.
This
Be
is-
done. Be done with this. You don't give it another 3 years.
What was
What's
the
the
moped,
end goal here?
The moped analogy that you
Well, you
alluded to.
you drive your Ferrari for all your friends to see, but the moped you keep in the garage and take it out on the weekends when your friends aren't looking.
Oh.
You have more fun on the you have a lot of fun on that moped. Isn't that fun to
Mopeds
ride
are
that?
fun. Mopeds are fun. I used to have
Mm,
one.
make
Got
some-
a Honda Express.
Yeah.
Some newspapers on it. It was great.
But you don't want your friends to see.
No,
you all.
no.
But try to get some new shoes before you get out of that relationship.
New shoes?
Why are you assuming he even pays anything for her?
He's too busy buying his wife
She
new
accepts
shoes.
She
Try
accepts
to
this
take 'em.
behavior. She ain't getting nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Or a watch,
I see what you're saying.
you know.
Yeah, you're trying to
new
get a
phone.
gift.
Saying.
You
Get
get something
some
out of it. Something. Because he has absolutely got something that he's hiding.
100%.
If you want more love advice from our love expert, you could get it. LoveLettersKelly.com. This is done on Mondays and Wednesdays on the show. But as always, you could always go and listen to all the podcasts that Kelly has dropped.